rode a giant black steed.
Hello, you. That was a wall.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk. I'm John and this is Matt. And today we're going to do something special. We're going to do our top 10 Halloween staples. That's the top 10 movies you should be watching every single Halloween, and these are our recommendations. But first, before we dive into all that, if you are a fan of movie reviews, 4K Blu-ray reviews, tech reviews, and game reviews, we try to do them all here on the channel, and nothing helps out more than by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. So everyone knows that there's certain movies every single Halloween season that you want to watch, and me and Matt are no different. Every single year we try and watch these types of Halloween movies that really give off that fall, autumn feel. It's the same thing with games, but really with movies, you know, there's certain ones you have to wait till October to watch, and these are the 10 that we can't wait to watch every single October.
So I want to start by saying my spooky season starts probably in late August for me, just because my horror section is so big, and I try to get through like 75 to 80% of my horror stuff by Halloween. So in the summertime, like late August, very early September, I'll start with like the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, The Hills Have Eyes, you know, that summer horror stuff, even some of the Friday the 13th, because those are really technically, even though we associate that with Halloween, that's really more of a summer stuff, because they're at summer camp, with the exception of a few. I like to start that, and then I progress into more seasonal stuff as we get closer. Ghost Ship is a good summer horror movie. We should
House of Wax?
Yeah, House of Wax, it's a good one. I think next year we should do a top 10 summer horror.
Well, you know
That's
what?
a good
Why don't we
idea.
do this? Every season we'll do a top 10 horror list. So this will be like the top 10 autumn, but we'll say Halloween. But, you know, when we hit winter, because there's a lot of winter horror movies that I've been waiting to
Yeah,
watch.
The Thing.
The Thing, The Shining.
The Shining.
So, you know, Jack Frost. So, you know what? We'll save that list for later. But today we're here to talk about Halloween. So, right off the bat, none of these are in order except for our number one. The number one we both agree is the number one. The rest, me and Matt kind of cherry picked together, and we came up with this list that we mutually agree you should watch this.
And they're in no specific
No.
order, because it would have took us all day between us arguing and trying to figure out which one is better than the other, which one's more Halloween-y. There's no specific order. It's just these are our top 10 picks that both of us, I think I watch all of these every single year in the month of October. I'm not sure about you, but I know I do.
Well,
sure.
the first one right out of the gate, I don't watch every single year, and that's only because I don't own it. And I know you're going to get upset when I just said that. And that is Sleepy Hollow.
I've
directed
had
by-
this Blu-ray for a very long time.
And I know, and I've always heard you talk about how much you love Sleepy Hollow.
I love that movie. That one kind of, I have history with that one, because when I used to go to my mom's house when I was younger, before I had a job, summer vacation after school, I would go to my mom. She lived in New Jersey. I live in New York, so she was a few hours away. This is one of the only VHSs she had in the house. Well, actually, she had a bunch, but it was one of the ones that stood out to me, and I used to watch this movie all the time at my mom's house, and I just loved it over the years. So when it came out on Blu-ray, then I really started associating it with Halloween, just because of the season it's in. It's a real fall season. The Headless Horseman has a pumpkin on his head at one point, and it's just a really awesome movie. Tim Burton did a fantastic job. I love Christina Ricci, Johnny Depp. That's
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. Yeah, he's the Headless Horseman. Fucking awesome movie.
Yeah, no, I really, this is Matt's, like, passion for this movie. I can't really add too much more to it, other than the fact to say that I also really love this movie. It's one of Tim Burton's most underrated films, especially from the 90s. You know, Tim Burton was firing on all cylinders until about The Big Fish, and this is no exception. If you haven't checked this one out,
I'm going to
definitely-
watch that tonight.
Really?
I haven't watched it yet this season.
Oh, okay.
That's a tonight movie, I think.
Well, one movie I already watched this season, and we do have a video coming up for it, and you haven't yet, and that is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I don't want to go too far into this, because we are going to have an entire video on it, but I'm just going to say it right now. This is my personal favorite of the Halloween series, and is always my go-to Halloween movie. I love Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Hi, Bunny Boy.
I was never one of those people that were disappointed by it because it didn't have Michael Myers. In fact, I always just loved it. I love the Silver Shamrock stuff. But yeah, I love the masks. I just love everything that they do for this movie. I love all the actors. Tom Atkins playing that sleazy doctor who's just trying to.
Yeah.
He's pretty much just trying to get laid any chance he get. But on the other hand, he discovers
That's
this.
in all his movies.
Tom Atkins. I just think that they, you know what? They leaned right into the mustache. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, look at this guy. This is a real
Because
lady."
in The Fog, he bangs
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, like immediately.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. We were watching that, and my wife, Faith, was like, Tom Atkins, like, every time I see him, he's always doing the same thing.
Yeah, he's always in, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's great in that, and I recommend that. But
I don't love Halloween 3.
No.
That one, I try every year, because I recognize the significance of it, the Halloween theme to it, but it's probably the weakest in the franchise for me. That was probably at the bottom of my list as far as Halloween franchise movies.
That's crazy. But I get it because the bait and switch thing, but we'll talk about that more.
Well, it's not even that. It's just not a great movie.
Alright, so I was with you, and then you said something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like the joke in them a lot.
We like to have fun here.
But I don't love it. I'm gonna try it again. I try it every year, and I
give him. He's doing a lot of that trying.
And I end up not loving it every year. But maybe I'll like it this year.
One we both love and we watch every year. Well, I don't watch this every year, but Matt does, and that is Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, this is
This is my steelbook, by the way. These are all mine, by the way. So that's we're going off my pile, and my steelbook. I fucking love Hocus Pocus. This is an every year thing. Since I was, whenever this came out,
1993.
Yeah, so I've probably seen Hocus Pocus 1,000 times at least, and love that movie.
Yeah, no, Hocus Pocus is great. I liked it more when I was a kid. I was never one of the people who thought Hocus Pocus was the greatest film ever made. As I've gotten older, I'll watch it every few years.
Well, that's also because he likes Halloween 3, so you see his taste.
We're having fun here, aren't we? I come up with these, and the guys, it's good to laugh.
Yes, you get exactly what I'm going for. So, it kind of I'll sit there in the background because my wife eats this up and she watches it every single year, multiple times a year, and I'll sit there while she's watching it and I'll play on my phone and I'll peek at it and get a little chuckle, but I don't need to sit down and really focus on this every single year. I've seen it 100 times.
And even the new sequel that just came out on Disney Plus, really good.
Yeah.
And we do have a review for that as well, so look for that down below.
Yeah, it was actually that was a fun sequel and a good follow-up. So yeah, if you haven't seen Hocus Pocus, check out Hocus Pocus. One movie that Matt's been telling me to watch, I think, month after month, is Hellfest. I still haven't watched it either, but he loves this movie.
Oh, I absolutely love Hellfest. I think it is fantastic. It is an awesome, awesome Halloween movie. Basically, these kids get tickets to Hellfest, and it's almost like I wouldn't say it's a Six Flags, because there's not really too many there's rides there, I guess. But it's a big amusement park with a Halloween theme, and they start getting followed by this guy who starts killing people. And it's a really fun ride. I liked all the characters. The acting was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. That's a good one. That's a really good Halloween movie, in my opinion.
Alright, yeah, eventually I'm going to check that out. I haven't yet.
And it's also on 4K. I didn't know that. I picked up the Blu-ray for $5. Because I like the slipcover and all that on
it. Is a nice slipcover. And one that I don't have on Blu-ray, but you do, and I think this is a nice... Yeah, it is. This is a Scream Factory Blu-ray.
I just upgraded that, because I had the original Blu-ray, but I didn't... And then I saw Scream Factory did a scan of it, so I said, you know what, let me get the Scream Factory one when it was on sale.
Yeah, this is a movie that's got a big cult following now, including me and Matt, and that's mainly because there is a certain band in this movie that...
Our favorite band.
Yes, both of our favorite bands, and we have tattoos, both of us, for them, and that is The Offspring. Yeah, mine. I'm not going to take my sweatshirt, and it's also a terrible tattoo, and it's on my left shoulder. I'll show you guys one day. It looks bad, but it's for The Offspring, who have a good scene in this movie. They play two songs. They play "Beheaded," and they also play the Ramones song, "I Want to Be Sedated."
Yes.
And they lose their head.
He rips Dexter's head off. Actually, I even named my dog after the lead singer of The Offspring.
But other than that, the movie's still great too.
Yeah, you got Seth Green. Seth Green, right? I always get Seth Green and Seth Rogen. I always forget which one is
and the guy who plays one of the lawyers from Daredevil.
From Daredevil, yeah.
Yeah, so this...
it's awesome. They die, but then they come back as zombies.
Devon Sawa, yeah.
Devon Sawa, yeah. I think this is Devon Sawa's biggest movie. And then Jessica Alba smoking hot in this.
Yeah.
And Seth Green and the lawyer from Daredevil. Fuck, I forget his name too. But so they're zombies and they're hanging out with Devin and that's not even his name either. Antoine. That's his name.
Yeah, Antoine Tobias.
Yeah, so I don't know. Fucking awesome movie. It's really fun.
It's a stoner comedy.
It's a stoner comedy with a Halloween paint job on it.
Yeah, and then if you're an Offspring fan, that's in there. This came out around the spoof time of movies. I think this is like 99, 2000.
But it's not so much a spoof. It's just a comedy horror.
It's, very much leaning into the comedy side of it. But you know what? It's really fun around Halloween season. We watched this for an outdoor movie night last year, and everyone had a lot of fun with it. It's perfect for that.
He's a pothead, and they say idle hands do the devil's work. So he has no job. He just sits around and smokes weed every day, and then his hand gets possessed. So he ends up cutting off his hand, and now this hand is just wreaking havoc on the town and killing people, and it's just awesome. And the way Devin Sawa played it with the hand, because he wears like these baggy clothes, and so he's just throwing his arm around all the time. Awesome movie. I loved it.
Nah, me too. Definitely love this movie. Definitely something you should watch every single Halloween. And out of the Friday the 13th franchise, like Matt said, most of them take place at summer camp. But one that stands out as a fall movie, and I still don't know how the kids were going there for summer camp, because this very much is clearly fall, and that is Jason Lives.
Well, did they even go to a summer camp in this one?
Well, they're setting up the camp. The kids get there. This is actually one of the only ones where the kids actually get to the camp, if you remember.
Okay, yeah. I just watched all of them, so they kind of meshed together for me.
For me, this is the best in the entire series.
I think so. I think I agree. Right next to Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah. That is just not true. Jason Takes Manhattan is very low on my personal list. But this is literally at the top. You could tell it takes place in the fall. There's even a great scene where Jason first walks in the cabin and the leaves are blowing around on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't use doors either, so he's slamming through doors. He's slamming through walls.
And I like the scenes, like you see a lot of these in the Nightmare on Elm Street, when they focus in on the street and it's nighttime, the street's all wet and there's some leaves going around. It's just...
I know. That's the stuff that really does make it feel like fall too. And she's driving around in that awesome Trans Am or Camaro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just great. This is just a really fun movie. You know, it's a classic tale. They bring Jason back to life. The town doesn't believe it. You know, he's crazy because he's Tommy Jarvis. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, what do you know? Jason really is back to life, and he is murdering people. He's really enjoying some Alice Cooper. It's just such a good movie.
This is Man Behind the Mask.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I love Jason Lives. That is one I watch every year. I just have so much fun with it. I can put it on more than once a year. It's just, for me, that is the standout in the series. They captured the perfect tone, and I think that's number one.
Alice fucking Cooper.
Yeah, Alice Cooper is great. They play more than one Alice Cooper in there, don't they? They feed My Frankenstein in also, right?
Yep.
And then more recent Halloween classics, we get Trick or Treat. Matt hasn't opened this yet. This is also from Scream Factory.
I had the regular Blu-ray. I just upgraded this from the Scream Factory sale, and I'm going to watch that pretty soon also. This is a great movie. It's not actually my favorite. I'm getting it's an acquired taste almost.
I actually really, ever since I first saw this movie, I came to it a little late. I think this came out in 2007. I didn't see it until 2012, I want to say. 2013, and I love it. It's a really great anthology series, and the characters all tie into each other.
Yeah.
I like it when they tell their own individual stories, but it really does still connect in the end, and I think they did a great job with that. I really love this movie, and there's rumors that we're getting a sequel.
Oh, really?
That's in early development, yep.
Interesting.
And actually, Trick or Treat, I think, is getting its first theatrical release this year, because this was a direct-to-video.
Oh, that was never in theater?
Never.
Really?
Never, yeah. This was really, this is literally very much a cult following. There are people who found this movie, and now it's big.
I never knew that.
Yeah, because I didn't even know about it when it first came out.
The only person I remember recognizing is the girl from X-Men is in there.
Yeah, Ada Paquin's in this, and actually what I always remember is Dylan Baker. He's one of that guys. Like, you'll recognize the face. He, plays small roles in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, but this is 100% a Halloween movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Sam.
Just look at the cover.
Yeah.
That's a big one for Halloween. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely significant to the Halloween season, for sure.
Yes, I agree. It definitely is. And now one that Matt just reviewed as well, and that is Saw. And Matt has told you guys before, and so have I, Saw is just really special to Matt and I.
Yes.
We, one night, went and saw this, opening night. It came out on a Friday. We went and saw this movie, and then after we went to a haunted house, Dark Side Haunted House on Long Island. Mm-hmm. And it was just a great night. It was just a special night. Saw wasn't the franchise it is today with Saw 10 coming out. It's a little-known horror movie. I remember we were just sold on the trailer.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, oh, what is that?
Yeah, it was a very interesting movie. Very dark, very gritty. Again, check out the review I just did on this. But this is an amazing franchise now. I mean, the originals is definitely the best in my opinion, but it's a solid franchise, except for the it was,
3D, right?
Yeah, 3D or the final chapter or the whatever
it was. Saw 7.
Yeah, that's a stinker. But out of the rest of them, they're all solid, you know. But this one is the standout in the series.
Yeah, the original that started it all. Although I really have to admit, Spiral is very good.
Spiral is good, yep.
Yes.
And so is Jigsaw. I like Jigsaw.
I gotta rewatch Jigsaw, but like Matt said, the only one that stands out as being bad was 7, and that's just because it just felt like they wanted to really force that 3D on you.
Yeah.
If everyone remembers that little run we had from like after Avatar to like 2015, every movie came out in 3D.
Or and the mid '80s too, like
that
Jason 3D.
Oh, even that's tough.
Yeah, those are hard. Jaws 3D.
And you can just see where they put it in. And then number 2 for us, because we did have a hard time, I think, with 1 and 2, but Scream. I mean, we get flack for talking about Scream all the time on the channel, but
Love
Matt,
Scream.
Yeah, love Scream. It's so good.
I mean, it's the entire franchise. Scream.
Yes,
you know, they're
really.
they all happen around the Halloween time. It just throws off a really, really good Halloween vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're at a Halloween. Well, were they at a Halloween? It was just a regular party, but
They were watching
they
Halloween.
were watching Halloween, where they used the score for the Halloween movie to score this. Scream is fucking awesome. Wes Craven. Come on.
Yeah, we talk about Scream all the time, rightfully so. It's just such a well-made, fun film. It really, if you're a fan of horror, them talking about all the horror tropes in this, it just, it speaks to you. It speaks to the horror fan, and it's amazing that this film even came out. And like Matt said, all 4 sequels are just as good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, none of them reach the heights of the original, but man, as far as a 5-film series, the fact you can watch all 5 of them and be happy throughout really speaks to the volumes of a well-made franchise.
That is tough. That is tough to do.
It never happens. At least one of those movies should have been a swing and a miss, and somehow they all made contact. And then that brings us, I think, to the most obvious number 1, and it's the movie called Halloween.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
It's got to be number 1. Without that, we wouldn't have the rest of the franchise. We wouldn't have that scene in Scream. We might not even have Scream. We wouldn't have so much without this movie.
Yeah.
And this is an iconic Halloween movie.
Yeah, and me and Matt have both said, like, my favorite might be Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and Matt's favorite might be Rob Zombie's Halloween, but we can't put those at number 1 just because without this movie,
Those don't happen.
Those don't exist. You know, this is like, yeah, there was slashes around, like Black Christmas, but none of them ever reached what Halloween still reaches today. It still stands out in the crowd. Is it dated at points? Yeah, of course. But, man, I watch it every year with a shit-eating grin on my face. So happy that I watch it. I watched it earlier this year. Who knows? You know, there's still some time left before the end of the month. I might throw it on again.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Halloween is my favorite horror franchise. I associate horror with Halloween most of the time, but, you know, Halloween is just the best of all the big 3. You know, you got Freddy, you got Michael, you got Jason. I think Michael is I love Halloween, everything about it. I'm a huge Halloween fan.
Oh yeah, me too. Definitely love Halloween. I mean, for the franchise, Matt is definitely higher on the franchise overall than me. I think there's some real duds in there that you got to really filter out.
I can't sift through the duds.
But other than that, for the most part, good franchise. You could definitely, and every Halloween season, you got to at least watch a few of them because they nail that autumn Halloween feel perfectly. Haddonfield seems like the perfect place to be. Not to live, but maybe a day trip before Halloween.
Yeah, during the day.
Yeah, definitely. Want to get out of there before things get really out of hand and some guy with a blue jumpsuit shows up.
31st.
No, you do not.
And they must be really in need for mechanics there because all the mechanics get killed in the Halloween series.
I hope they're paying them well.
Yeah.
Because the threat of getting your clothes and murdered stolen are just...
Very high.
Very high.
Very, very high. Let's...
Oh, yeah, actually, you know what? We do have some honorable mentions that Matt wants to bring up.
Yeah, so, I mean, how can we not talk about The Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, where did that come up?
You know, that's, again, another amazing franchise that Wes Craven started. Wes Craven did all of the Screams. He only did the original, and then he produced 3?
Well, he wrote 3 and produced it, and then he also did A New Nightmare.
Okay, yes, I forgot about New Nightmare. But yeah, Freddy Krueger, that's another horror icon that you think of around Halloween time.
Yeah.
Those are fantastic movies. Another one we want to talk about is specifically The Bride of Chucky, which is actually my favorite in the entire Chucky series. But Bride of Chucky, awesome movie. That does kind of have the Halloween tone, where the original Child's Plays are more of a Christmas movie, Christmas horror in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say that if you're looking and wondering where the Child's Play are, look for when we do our winter list.
Yes.
Because that might be on there, because like Matt said, the first one very much, it's in snowy Chicago around Christmas time. So it doesn't really feel Halloween. But Bride of Chucky, especially, that's where I got introduced to Rob Zombie.
Yes.
And that awesome soundtrack on that movie.
Really? That's where you were introduced? I feel like Twisted Metal.
Well, this movie came out in 1998. I think Twisted Metal might have been the same year, but I definitely saw Bride of Chucky.
98? I feel like...
No, PlayStation was 95, but when did Twisted Metal come out?
Like, that was like a launch title.
No, I wasn't.
The original Twisted Metal is a big box.
It is not a launch title, though. I can tell you, I know the PlayStation launch titles.
It might not be a launch title, but it was launch window because that's when they were still the long boxes.
Oh, like when I remember the original Ridge Racer was in
yes,
that, yeah.
The long
Okay.
boxes.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been early, but I definitely...
Was there a soundtrack in the original?
I don't know.
I know specifically... No, 3.
So 3?
Twisted Metal 3 is the first one that I remember.
So like
licensed music.
So it's right around the same time. I guess it depends what you'd play first. Did you play Twisted Metal first, or did you watch Bride of Chucky first? I definitely know for a fact that I found Rob Zombie in that movie. I literally the scene with the cop car going through the rain, and I don't remember what Rob Zombie song is playing.
It's either Dragula or Super Beast.
Yeah, it might have been Super Beast or. Bend to the bridges, burn all the way.
Yeah.
That's Dragula.
It's Dragula.
Yeah.
Dragula.
Yeah, so with that scene, I can literally remember the first time I saw it and hearing Rob Zombie. So
yeah,
that's where I found Rob Zombie. And then one more that I want to bring up, and we just did a review on it, but very much Halloween, and that's Return of the Living Dead.
Fantastic movie.
Fantastic movie.
Fantastic
My favorite
4K.
zombie. This or Dawn of the Dead are my favorite zombie movie. And yeah, no, it's a great 4K. Amazing 4K. If you're a fan of this movie, this is the definitive version for you. I can promise you won't be disappointed by it. Mm-hmm. And for anyone wanting certain movies that you didn't see on this list, we kind of just kicked around in this video, but
Evil Dead is another big
one.
one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
All of the zombie movies really are Halloween related. Again, I have probably almost 300 horror movies here on the shelf that we can't add them all, but these are just iconic ones that are within a couple days of Halloween or just really throw off that Halloween vibe. So that's kind of how we made this list.
Yep, and let us know in the comment section below what are movies that you watch every single Halloween season that you can't skip a year. Leave those comments in the comment section below, and then while you guys are down there, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell all your friends.
Stop, look, and listen.